What we do here is go back, 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 back. What we do here is go back, 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 back.
bagong umagang parating. Bagong umaga, bagong umagang parating. Gaano man kabigat ang dinadala, gaano man ang hirap na nadarama sa buhay mo, kaibigan ko, walang pasanin na hindi gumagaan, walang pagsubok na hindi nalalampasan. May bagong umagang parating. May bagong umagang parating. Bagong umaga, bagong umagang parating. Bawat buhay ay may patutunguhan, bawat pangarap.
O magbabaya, ikaw yang gayina, sing pulong ang pagawa na, yang guwag na tagala na kanami bago o magpabaya, ikaw yang tigpaningog ng kanami mga piangamuyo demalang yagabaya di pupuan kami ng kadayadamo. Agawan ini dadamo bunga ng paguma na biyabati. Dawatan yaning kanami kapasaya kamo kalipay namin yung panabi-sabi sa pangalan mo. O magbabaya, ikaw yang yagatubang singka nami mga panawag-tawag sang kadyawan, ikaw yagata. Salamat o kadinayag bangaw sang awan. Agawan ini dadamo bunga ng paguma na biyabati. Dawatan namin kapasaya ka mo. Kalipay namin yung panabi-sabi sa pangalan mo. O magbabaya, kanami mabuot na ama, nayagbaruntad singpolo, napyagadumay-dumay kamo ng kadini, yaga payo-payo kamo ng kaumpuan, yaga solok ng kamipan, sandi mangkadyaw na yang kainang nami. Gagadon mo kami sa ngalaw-law nami nakabaruntad. Payo mo tipo ng kaliko sa mangkararat. O kay tagal lang, sandugdug nami yaga payo-payo kamo, naway makarangin-rangin, bulusan ka naming kadyawan, na daw sangugwat na di pagunupan. Yani yang kanami yung ngudungod, dagayon sang yamayo pulo na paguma, pinagis ang kamot tamisa na dumabong na si Jesus. Magbabaya, kalatan mo kami. Agawan ini bunga ng paguma, nabyabati. Dawata yanin ka namin kapasaya ka mo. Kalipay namin yang panabi-sabi sa pangalan mo. Kalipay namin yang panabi-sabi sa pangalan mo.
District Supervisor, Dr. Florefes A. Colmenares, to the school heads from different schools and teachers. Good morning and welcome to the second day of the District Rollout on the Learning Management System. I am Loidal Makatabot, your moderator for today. So live po tayo ngayon sa ating official YouTube channel, DepEd Banay-Banay District ICTU. So yesterday, we witnessed the presentation of our training committee on the learning management system. And today, we will again learn a lot from our refined speakers, Dr. Roblin Z. Bunsay, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, Dr. Florefes A. Colmenares, and Teacher Arnold L. Generoso. So abangan po natin ang kanilang presensya dito sa ating live stream. I would like to remind our participants that the link for this morning's attendance will be aired during the conduct of the webinar. So you really have to tune in. All right, so let's start. To give us a recap of yesterday's session, we have Dr. Roblin Z. Bunsay, Master Teacher 1 of Pisocap Elementary School.
Madayaw na timprano kanato tibo. Good morning fellow participants of this first ever district webinar. We are now on the second day of this training, but before getting down the hot seat for the second day, let me give you a short recapitulation of the events that have been transpired yesterday. The opening program was carried as it was planned. Started with an audio-visual presentation of the national anthem, prayer, and the Vision and Banay-Banay hymn. Dr. Florefes A. Colmenares, Public Schools District Supervisor, formally opened the training and at the same time welcomed the expected participants. Up next was Ma'am Flor Lisa G. Sevilla, Master Teacher 1 of Pisukam Elementary School, acknowledged the participating schools, school heads, and teachers. We are also lucky to hear the inspirational message of Ma'am Evelyn R. Vitalvero, CESO 5, Assistant Regional Director, OIC Office of the Regional Director. According to her, as frontliners, we are brave to be ready with all kinds of trends and strategies while facing this new normal. Furthermore, she assumed that we are like infants exploring our first move. Thus, instead of finding faults, why not suggest and do things that will help DepEd succeed in this new normal setup? Ma'am Estrella S. Asperas, Principal 2 of Mugungkugon Elementary School, presented the statement of purpose for the said webinar. After which, a dance salvo by some of the LMS trainers which entertained the participants to set the mood for the training. Our Division CID Chief, Ma'am Maria Concepcion K. Wong, took its part in giving her thoughts about the initiative of our district in cascading such an activity that will prepare teachers in this trying time. Sessions yesterday offered much applicability to one of the four modalities introduced by our department to entirely embrace the new normal mode of instruction. The first session started with a topic presented by Sir Gerson Tumaca, ICT Coordinator of Banay-Banay Central Elementary School, on getting to know Learning Management System. What is this learning management system? In short, it is a software application suited for administration, documentation, report, automation, and delivery of educational courses or training. For deeper understanding, a video extracted from Sir Joselito Q. Edong, which offered steps on how to access the LMS, other features added to it, and how to download Moodle application and install themes. The morning session ended with a song rendition by Ma'am Precious Kinduyos, one of the LMS trainers. After an hour break, after session was given to the webinar master in the person of Sir Mark C. A very comprehensive deliberation was shared by him on customization of LMS using a theme. Moreover, Ma'am Queenie May Villamore added the learning of the participants on the topic creating a course. Right then, participants were given enough time to download and explore the platform at their own. A lively open forum aired for everyone, which catered queries and questions relevant to the topic. And today ended with a finale song, Bayan Ko. Thumbs up for our energetic moderator yesterday in the person of Ma'am Heidi Rina S. Dubalos, and of course to the expert trainers and facilitators. So that would be all. Happy learning, everyone.
much, ma'am, for that edifying recap. Up next, to give us the rationale of the most essential learning competencies and different learning modalities, let us hear the Chief of the Curriculum and Learning Management Division, Dr. Janet G. Veloso Sese.
Yes, good morning everyone. Good morning sa ating lahat, particularly to all our schools division superintendent, assistant superintendent, and also to our chief of the curriculum implementation division and all the education program supervisors and public school district supervisors, and also to our teachers, both from or starting from the elementary, our junior high school and senior high school. We are very happy to share with you as to our most essential learning competencies. So my presentation today is actually a bit comprehensive. Now, for all you know, DepEd Region 11 during this global pandemic is revolutionary as it remains forward thinking in carrying out its mandates under the framework of Sulong Edukalidad. It continues to navigate diversified interventions and strategies to sustain delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating basic education. Thus, I teach of the region as a comprehensive-led learning continuity plan is hopeful for that, and you will know what is it. Now, the presentation outline in today's journey about the most essential learning competencies, we are going to have a glimpse on the region's context, leading to our support or our commitment for the K-12 most essential learning competencies. Second, as to our framework of the region, as to our learning continuity plan. And another is for us to look into deeper, and this will be walked through in a form of walkthrough by the respective learning area experts on K-12 most essential learning competencies. And the last is where we are heading, our way forward. Now, before the COVID-19 pandemic has come into picture, if we look at Davao region, each year we are baffled by many disasters, and these have a major impact on learners and education systems. Be it in a smaller or bigger scale, learners are generally out of school for some period of time due to disasters. That the impact on the education to learners, all of these existing challenges have certain damage to education infrastructure. Not only that, often leave many children in need of critical education support, and I'm talking about learners with special needs. They are left helpless in ensuring their long-term or longer-term development. And so, now that we are in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic, which poses challenges to all various sectors in DepEd. Not only that, and DepEd is one that has to really change its landscape of operation in order to become viable in this trying time. And so we are very thankful for DepEd Region 11 to make it responsive that in this global pandemic, we have our iTeach, integrating technology, academic community, and the household. ensuring that every learner in DepEd Region 11 is safe and protected anytime, anywhere. And not only that, DepEd Region 11, as it integrates technology, academic community, and households, and guided by the DepEd's vision, mission, and core values, pushes its 12 goals under the Learning Continuity Plan. And this is ensuring learning continuity through the K-12 basic education curriculum. Adjustments, alignment, learning materials, deployment of multiple learning delivery modalities, provision of corresponding training to teachers and school leaders, and proper orientation of parents or to our community leaders. We embedded all this as mechanism in our learning continuity plan. And that, if we look at DepEd Region 11's learning continuity plan, we have one, determine the context of the learner and their families. Second, develop and establish a contextualized hybrid learning management system, and that is our learning management system where every school, every division, and every learner or every household will have. Enhanced preparation of learners in meeting the K-12 basic education program standards and competencies under the most essential learning competencies. And fourth, map out all materials necessary for the delivery of the lessons vis-a-vis the MILCs. And fifth, develop self-learning materials that are aligned with the MILCs. And sixth, facilitate conversion of self-learning materials or our self-learning modules into ebook, or interactive video lessons, radio scripts, and TV-based scripts or episodes ready for the different modalities. And next to that, we have to utilize our ICT in the management, communication, accreditation, and supervision of private schools and delivery of support and resources in all field offices. Provide necessary retooling and upskilling strategies to all personnel in all governance. And I'm talking to this that not only in the school level, but also in the division and in the region, that we are going to provide or capacitate our key personnel. Ninth, orient parents and learners on the different modalities and learning on significant, and especially on their significant role as parents or being facilitators of learning. Strengthen partnership of key players to ensure delivery of all learning modalities in schools and collaboration in all governance. 11th, protect the well-being of the learners, our teaching and non-teaching personnel, and education leaders by ensuring a safe and conducive learning and working spaces or environment. And finally, we need still to celebrate success and also reward our key players and partners for the effort under the framework or for the delivery of quality service for Sulong Educaridad. And we capture all this in our framework of the ITH. And I'd like to each one to look into the the effort of the region that is now we are doing the upskilling of teachers. And on the in the aspect of capacity building to teachers and school leaders, the region has to ensure that all teachers are not only strengthened to become resilient, adaptable, or able to manage resource and technology literacy or technological literacy, but most specifically on the main concern on the delivery of the K-12 basic education. And that it is therefore the primary goal of the region to orient you teachers and our education leaders on the most essential learning competencies and able to let you or appreciate the milks as we are now. If we look at our calendar, we are in a shortened period because barely each quarter we are going to have 8 weeks. So with that, we are ensuring that the most essential learning competencies are delivered to our respective clientele and our learners. And under that, imbibed with the philosophy and principles as well as the pillars of Sulong Edukalidad, it is hoped that teachers will be able to respond. And it is you, our trainers now, who is going to set that one into motion to the goals of the K-12 basic education program. And if we look at our K-12 most essential learning competencies, we have as our overarching, or shall we say, impression that the milks is not a new curriculum. It is not a departure from the K-12 curriculum. And that the standards in terms of the content and performance standards are retained. And that our milks are focused on the attainment of 21st century skills. The codes and tagged materials are retained for the merged and retained competencies. And that all learning areas will still be taught. And that the milks are aligned with the Sulong Edukalidad framework. Another thing that we should know, that if we look at the desirable learning competencies and so with the essential learning competencies, the DLCs or the desirable learning competencies are those that what may enhance education but may not be necessary in building foundational skills. And that the essential one are those that our students need. And these are indispensable. And that in terms of, if we look at the teaching learning process, this equip learners for subsequent grade levels or consequently for building the skills in subsequent grade levels or for lifelong learning. And so this is how, or these are the things that our DepEd Central Office and our field offices look at it. Now, for the characteristics of essential learning competencies, these are the things that we should know that it is aligned with the national and state and local standards, and that it connects the content to higher concepts across content areas. It is applicable to real life situations, and that in general, these are important as it is have as our overarching, or shall we say, impression that the milks is not a new curriculum. It is not a departure from the K to 12 curriculum. And that the standards in terms of the content and performance standards are retained, and that our milks are focused on the attainment of 21st century skills. The codes and tagged materials are retained for the merged and retained competencies. And that all learning areas will still be taught. And that the milks are aligned with the Sulong Edukalidad framework. Another thing that we should know, that if we look at the desirable learning competencies, and so with the essential learning competencies, the DLCs or the desirable learning competencies are those that what may enhance education but may not be necessary in building foundational skills. And that the essential one are those that our students need. And these are indispensable. And that in terms of, if we look at the teaching learning process, this equip learners for subsequent grade levels or consequently for building the skills in subsequent grade levels or for lifelong learning. And so this is how, or these are the things that our DepEd Central Office and our field offices look at it. Now, for the characteristics of essential learning competencies, these are the things that we should know, that it is aligned with the national and state and local standards, and that it connects the content to higher concepts across content areas. It is applicable to real life situations, and that in general, these are important as it is very essential, not only for our learners, but also it has something to do with the real learning in the community or in the real world. It is underscored specifically that we are looking at it, that if we talk about the most essential learning competencies, these are enduring competencies. And that if we look at endurance, this gives us a view that a learning competency is considered enduring, because this is one aspect that really put premium, that if it is enduring, it remains with the learners long after a test or unit of study is completed, or if it is useful beyond a single test or unit study. That's how we look at it. So in the consideration of the most essential learning competencies, this is one great aspect that we look at. And that later, when the different learning areas will be sharing to you or with you all the unpacking, or shall we say, all the milks from kindergarten to the different learning areas, you will get to know better from the K-12 curriculum guides that we have, and then the essential learning competencies, and then later to the most essential learning competencies. And you will appreciate on that, on how the process was being, or the process of identifying the milks. It's not just identifying it because we just consider it in that way, but it goes with the process. And so the different learning area supervisors will walk through with you on that. And so you will appreciate on the effort of our experts, and specifically the entire strand of the office of the curriculum or undersecretary for curriculum and instruction, particularly our Bureau of Curriculum and Development, that it has, or that everybody has really considered all or many things from the review of the curriculum guide, and then move to the consideration of the essential learning competencies to the most essential learning competencies. Next, from the learning competencies before, from I believe a total of more than 10,000 learning competencies, and it is now reduced to more than 4,000 competencies. So the process is not just easy. And so these are the things that we have considered. And then, next to that, we have the mapping of the essential and desirable competencies that were mentioned a while back, and then the identifying of the prerequisite knowledge and skills within the learning area or the different learning area, and then it passes also analysis of interconnectedness of prerequisite knowledge and skills among learning competencies across learning areas. And then, yes, I have dwelled on this as to the essential learning competencies to MILCs. And so it's fitting that we need to know more about this through the walkthrough that you will be having, and that the consideration that the most determining factor na talagang tandaan natin is that we have the endurance, no, as the determining factor, that once that certain competency remains with the learner long after a test of a unit or unit of study is completed, and if this competency is useful beyond a single test or unit of study, then that is considered for the most essential learning competency. And that another thing that we need to be aware of, that while it's true that they go with the process of mapping the competency, identifying the prerequisite or analysis, but more so that they considered that there are those that they have retained, there are competencies that have been merged, and there are those that have been rephrased, and there are those that have been dropped. So that's how the process is what we consider tedious and daunting tasks. And so finally, for our region, we map out the available learning competencies. Because of that, because this is how we populate the given most essential learning competencies with all the identified or the existing available resource that we have, because we want the teacher now to really know what are the things or what are these learning resource available in your respective divisions, available in your respective schools that are already quality assured, and even those that are for quality assurance process but are closely and can be used in the delivery of the most essential learning competencies. We are doing such because these are data and these are vital information for you teachers to be able to make sure that you have ample available learning resource once you are going and once we open the school year 2020-2021. And finally, as our way forward, we hope that each one will continue, especially our writers and developers of the self-learning modules, for the quality assurance of the learning modules, and the establishment of monitoring and evaluation of the online training model. And this is the one that we are talking about, our training, because we do not want that all of us will just be listening to the training or webinars, but more so that we are going to make sure that all the things that we are heading for are really delivered well, and not only that, we are equipped for the school year 2020-21. And we would like each of you now to catch sight of our collaboration, the collaboration of all offices in all governance, starting from schools, your schools division offices, and the region, and so with the central office, because we believe now that we journey together, not only learning together of the kind of environment that we have now, and we come together as we open for the school year 2021 for the delivery of quality basic education and ensuring that each learner is safe and protected while they continue their education in this new normal. God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Janet G. Veloso. Ayan po. So, maraming salamat, ma'am, no? So, talagang inayos po yung ating MELCs, no? Mula sa doon sa curriculum guide, naging essential learning competency siya. Tapos ngayon, to address the new normal way of education, talagang ginawa pa yung most essential learning competencies. Of course, base yan doon sa tinatawag na endurance, na kung saan the learning competencies should retain for our students na lifelong learning siya. Ayan po. So thank you so much, Ma'am Jan, at mamaya po makakasama ka namin muli. Thank you so much, Ma'am, para po sa inyong oras at panahon na para makapagpaliwanag po. Ayan po. Thank you, Ma'am Jan, and God bless po. Okay, sa punto pong ito ay paalala lamang po sa ating mga kaguruan, ano, sa lahat po ng participants na nanonood sa amin ngayon. Paalala lamang po, medyo
Muli, magandang umaga. Okay? So, ito ang tinatawag nating new normal modalities, enablers of learning. So, ito po ay ang aking presentation, the flow. We have different learning modalities. Second, our sample prototype schedules. So, and then we have the sample calendar of all the most essential learning competencies per quarter. But this time we will be showing to you a sample of the first quarter. So if we are going to plan it out, somehow this will help our teachers and our implementers to be able to deliver the curriculum well. And then our way forward, I'm always looking at it that there will always be something that we need to continue, not only today, but also the remaining months that we will be having our most essential learning competencies for school year 2021. Next slide, Login. Yes, so we have first our, of course, our face-to-face, shall we say, the most important, no, for us before the usual business we have, that it is about the face-to-face simulation, or shall we say interaction between the learners and a teacher. And for now, with as mandated by our JEPED central office, that for now we are not going to have this, because this modality has to really ensure that the learning spaces are safety, and also it is conducive for learning. So we need to have to consider local and national protocols. And so with this, we're not we will not be using momentarily the face-to-face modality. Thanks to that, Login. So we'll move to the next, Login. Our modular printed learning modules. Okay? So the printed learning modules, as we all know, ito yung tinatawag natin self-learning modules. We should be aware of this, that this is, or these are the modules that our learners will receive comes August 24, 2020. So our default is that, be it online, offline, radio-based, or TV-based instruction, all modalities, all learners should have the self-learning modules. So in here, in modular, considering printed learning modules, so we need to consider that teachers here will use as a modality wherein learners will be supervised at home or guided at home by an adult or other siblings and family members. Okay. And then we have next to that, actually for our modular or printed learning modules, we have suggested actions of key players. The suggested actions of key players are suggested actions that most likely will be of help to us in the implementing unit. And so we have here some considerations of our partnership with the local government unit to ensure that the delivery of the materials are well coordinated. So if this gonna be, or if this will really partner even the LGU, the barangay, the purok, the city leaders, then we can do that. So these are vital informations or suggestions for you to consider. Next to that, we have the school on air or radio-based instruction. So our school on air radio-based instruction, narinig nyo na kanina, so it could be using the radio transmission or our horn loudspeaker, yung tatawag nating trompa sa mga paaralan. So ito yung tinatawag nating horn loudspeaker. Okay, so in this particular modality, still the learners will be provided with the self-learning modules. However, the, shall we say, the lessons, deepening of the lessons are done, or this is done through our radio-based instruction. And if it is trompa, usually the trompa is placed in the middle of the most, or the thickly populated place in community, and where all learners are situated. So yun po ang ideal for that if it is using the horn loudspeaker. And so again, these are the suggested actions of key players. Lalabas na rin yan ang mga different actions of key players. So we're giving you the suggested actions for as well. This will help you as you deliver the curriculum through the use of the school on air or radio-based instruction. Next to that, our television-based instruction. Okay? So our, of course, our TV-based, nandiyan pa rin ang ating transistor radio. but that will be provided to you. But assuming na yan po ay TV. Okay? This is teaching through the use of television and other visual media. And so learners may view educational episodes and lessons on television at home. Lessons are featured through pre-arranged TV programming and aired according to time slots and grade level on a daily or thrice or twice per week basis. And so that would be, again, depending on the time slots that our partner group or partner agency or organization will provide us. So in our TV-based instruction, we have also suggested actions of key players. Next to that, our offline. Okay, our offline, parang ito ay tatawag natin na downloaded or provided materials through online, but these are navigated through offline. Or even, these are digitized through the use of CD or thumb drive, but these are provided ahead so that the learners can view it, can navigate, can explore, or can read and do the respective tasks even without the use of connectivity or the internet. So that's the offline. Next to that, the suggested action of key players. So talagang nilalagyan namin ng mga suggested action of key players. Next, we have our online. This concerns about synchronous and asynchronous delivery. So in our online, of course, this needs so much about our gadgets like desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone, or your Android phone. And then you are going to engage synchronous, meaning same time and same slots that you have agreed or scheduled with your teacher, and then there is a delivery of the curriculum. And then asynchronous, meaning after all that the content or probably the concepts are provided, and so learners on their own, na even without the use of the virtual classroom, or shall we say, the one that you have experienced yesterday and on the during our first day of the training about the learning management system. So this would be the time where learners interact with the teacher virtually, or even do their respective tasks, even not, or shall we say, in a asynchronous way, wherein the learners can do their tasks, even the teachers are not virtually present. So with that, learners, or in the asynchronous experience, these are assignments given to the learners, or even recorded activities and videos or slides or emails or instructions on in the respective group chats or chat rooms. And so all these things, when learners explore on their own, that's the time that they're doing in a synchronous way. So again, we have the suggested actions of key players. So these are vital suggestions for you to do at your level. Next to that, we have the blended remote learning, wherein in the blended remote learning, we have, of course, a combination of the modalities cited in the face-to-face, or probably our modular, our TV-based, our radio-based instruction, or even our offline and online. So depending on the choice of the parents or the learners. And so as you all know, this will emanate, or this will be the the decision of utilizing the blended remote learning will be lodged to the school officials, and also consultations with the teachers para collaborative effort of all the key players in school to ensure that learners are provided with the services. And so they are given, or they are provided, they are learning according to the pace that we actually, yung conservative, 8-week delivery of the curriculum per quarter. Okay. Next to that will be our suggested actions of key players, and then the homeschooling. Now, as to homeschooling, the policy is yet to be released by the CEO. So we're not, we don't have yet for now the policy as updated, or the policy that is appropriate for now as we are in the pandemic. So we'll just wait for that, and eventually we will provide all the different field offices for this policy on homeschooling. Next, we have the sample prototype template. These are sample, or this, I will be showing to you some sample prototype templates of which will help us on how we're going to do about listing of recipients of self-learning modules. How do we do that? And next to that will be the prototype also in the distribution and retrieval of the self-learning modules. Ayan, nagbibigay na kami ng sample prototype of which that will help our implementers. And then another sample prototype also for the tracking of and feedback to learners' output. So ibig sabihin, it's not only that we are retrieving, or shall we say distributing the materials, but we are tracking it, because this has something to do with our another feature of the LMS, that we are going to provide a help desk for our learners, because we are going to feature their help desk or hotlines for our learners to be able to connect if indeed during the time that they are on their own to study their lessons, or probably their self-learning modules, there are gray areas that they would want to clarify about, then we are going to include in our self-learning management system, and also probably in our advocacy materials, the hotlines where they can call an expert, or they can call a team or to assist them. And if there are parents that would like to be clarified about of the lessons that the learners are shall we say, struggling in terms of their mastery. And then the calendar of the MELCs per learning area. So why we are showing it to you? Because ideally, through the curriculum implementation division and with learning experts for learning area, and so with our school heads and department heads in the case for junior high school and senior high school, we would want you that before we begin the school year, everything should be already plotted in a calendar, and as to per learning area, per grade level. So we're giving you some samples of which we can summarize per grade level, and yun ang masundan ng ating mga parents. So it would be very advantageous that our critical input in this are communicated and articulated to our parents, shall we say, orientation and training. So we're giving you out the sample for Aralpan. This is a sample for level 1 or for grade 1. And then after, as you notice, it reaches to October 12 to 16. So naipagmamalaki ang sariling pangarap o ninanais sa pamamagitan ng mga malikaing pamamaraan. As you all know, kung matatanggap na ng ating mga bata ang self-learning modules, ito po ay napapalooban ng mga sinatawag nating lessons. Hindi ibig sabihin na ang bawat module ay may isang lesson lang. No. These are sometimes broken down into different lessons to ensure that all concepts are mastered and all skills or competencies.
White caramel ang may sweet
enabling
na
lessons are
Niduduyan ka sa sarap
provided
ng
for our
tamang timpla.
learners to be able to
Sama
master
sarap
the
ng
competency.
coffee at
So,
cream caramel.
Ayan, binibigay namin sa
Sweetie
inyo.
naman, sweetie naman, sweetie
For
naman.
a sample for grade
Pretty's
level
white
and
caramel
learning area.
ang may sweet na Take a break, bite, sweet
So we are
yummy.
giving you all
About
the
new great
options
taste white caramel.
so you can choose and you can contextualize on your own. That will really help us to make all our deliverables clear to the field and all our key players, including the households, and I'm talking about the parents, to really know about this. Okay, so ayan, i-segue na lang natin yan. Filipino 7, APP 5, Science 8, I hope na nasundan nyo. And then we have Aralpan 1. And then we move to the sample prototype schedules. Itong sample prototype schedules, in a video lesson ito or in a video clips. So ginawa ko siyang sample prototype na video clips para naman when you are going to conduct orientation to your parents, parang there is something that they can look into and be know on how to do it at their own level pag nasa bahay sila at paano ito gagawin. So it is somewhat very tailored fit and contextualized siya at saka personalized siya is because these are actually achievable sa bahay. Pwede siyang gawin sa bahay at saka very dynamic in the sense that these are the usual things that we expect that the learners should be doing at home and should be doing in school. Parang mini-merge natin siya, what the learners may do in school and when they are at home, how the school be replicated at home. Ayan. Yan po ang purpose ng sample prototype schedules natin. And that will be shown later. Later pa yan isa-show sa inyo. But that would be after my presentation. So kaya abangan nyo yan. And then after that, binibigay namin parang reminder sa atin. Kasi while we know that the senior high school have already the milks, but because of the way we analyze it, that only few of the competencies in the milk or in the curriculum guide of our senior high school are subsumed or shall we say merged. So we would want you to be aware of the 80-hour for that, particularly for senior high school, for 80-hour per learning area. And so anyway, when we yung ibinangga na namin siya, when we compare it this away to the total number of subjects per semester, kasi it's very unique for our senior high school na meron tayong first semester and second semester, and we still stick to our previously issued or regional memorandum number 15 or number 20, number 15 I should say, series 2016, when we had our first implementation of the senior high school, because the purpose then or the intention of our issuance is to really provide the same offering so that when there will be migration or transfer of learners, we can actually mitigate those that would be concerning about transfer of learners and lack of subjects that would be taken from one school to another or from one track to another track. Okay. Next to that, dalawang slide yan. Next to that, sa way forward natin. Ayan, nasa way forward na tayo. Okay, itong way forward natin is that first, we are going to continue our training package for teachers and parents because the training package for teachers and parents will continue because still we are going to let you be aware of the conversion of our, shall we say, the conversion of our ebooks or self-learning modules to ebooks and to active radio lessons, radio scripts, and TV-based scripts. So all this should be rolled out to you so that you'll know all about this. And another is for the mapping of congressional districts per division kasi this concerns about monitoring. So while we are in a remote modalities, nasa remote tayo, the monitoring will still continue. So we are going to map out the different congressional districts or probably the different districts. Pwede nyo ring gawin or pwede ring by division or by school. So ito ang suggestions namin.
Most especially to our OIC chief of the CID, Conception, Kimo, for giving me this opportunity to give inspiration to our teacher participants to this division training of trainers of the learning management system or LMS. And of course to our education program supervisors under the curriculum implementation division who really gave their time to make
so
this
will help us all monitors, our public school district supervisors, our education program supervisors, and the one manning the schools to really know where are these things or how are this or what modalities that the schools are offering. So this will help us also strategically monitor our schools. Okay. So with that, I would like to welcome you to the sample prototype schedules. Login, kindly show Login the sample prototype schedules in the form of video clips.
Sample home, online instructional plan. Kindergarten. Monday to Friday. Morning session, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. breakfast. Monday to Friday. Morning session, 8:30 to 8:40 a.m. prayer song exercise. Morning session, Monday to Friday. 8:40 to 8:55 a.m. free play. Monday to Thursday. Morning session, 8:55 to 9:25 a.m. Socio-emotional. Morning session, 8:55 to 9:25 a.m. assessment task Monday to Friday. Morning session, 9:25 to 9:40 a.m. snack time. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Morning session, 9:40 to 10:10 a.m. Friday, morning session, 9:40 to 10:10 a.m. Morning session, 10:10 to 10:30 a.m. Morning session, 10:30 to 10:35 a.m. Monday to Friday. Morning session, 10:35 to 12 o'clock noon. Monday to Friday. 12 to 1 p.m. Lunch. Relaxation. Monday to Friday. 1 to 5 o'clock p.m. Monday to Friday. 1 to 5 o'clock p.m. Monday to Friday. 5 to 6:30 p.m. Dinner time. 6:30 to 8 p.m. Free time. 8 p.m. onwards. Bedtime.
I believe that I have delivered to you. Actually, we have sample prototype for kindergarten, and we have also for grades 1 and 2. Meron pa ba, Login? Baka maipakita natin na grades 1 and 2 kasi in here for grades 1 to 3, the teaching is explicit. So we have some will say some recommendations on how these things be done at home. So, Login, pwede pa natin maipakita ang grades 1 and 2? Kasi naka-separate clips yun.
Yes, ma'am. Lugin is just preparing the presentation po, ma'am. Okay, so ma'am, you know, yung nakita natin kanina is talagang very, very creative din na pagkakaayos ng oras ng bata, ano po. So talagang meron siyang enough time to sleep, enough time para maglaro, at saka enough time din para makapag-bonding ang pamilya. And of course, yung pinakamahalaga doon, yung matuto siya, nagkakaroon siya ng panahon na mag-learn by himself at saka sa tulong ng kanyang pamilya.
Yes, at saka John, ang napakaganda doon ay may reading time talaga ang family.
Yes.
Reading time. Okay. Yes. So that's it.
So Lods, ready na ba?
Pwede na, Ma'am Lods. Ayan. Kasi actually lahat ng ito, ng mga clips natin, ay makakasama ito sa parents kit natin. Ito ay ipapaloob natin sa parents kit at sa atin din pong entire package of training kit para sa mga guro. So, lahat po ito matatanggap ng ating mga guro para masundan at sa pagkakaroon ng orientation ng mga parents ay madali pong masundan din. Okay.
Yes,
pwede namang magkaroon ng revision ang bawat division, pero sa pagkakataong ito sa amin sa region, nagbigay kami ng mga sample prototype. Opo.
Yes, ma'am. Lugin, ma'am, is actually preparing the slide because she has to transfer it from, ano po, ma'am, kasi medyo nagkakaroon ng problema nito sa tawag nito, sa connection po doon sa kanya, and inaayos na po ngayon.
Yung magpo-provide naman ng kits sa mga parents, ayan, sino magpo-provide ng kits sa parents? Of course, ang sa school level na po, pero lahat ng ating ibibigay na kit ay ipapaloob namin ito sa training package na to. Para kayo po ay meron ng kopya nito at lahat po ng ating mga parents sa paaralan ay magbibigyan po sila ng kanilang orientation. At mas maintindihan nila dahil ito po ay interactive at saka mas madali po siyang masundan. Opo. Ginawa namin yun na interactive kasi pag i-play din yun sa bahay, maintindihan ni bata, ganun pala ang aking gagawin. So, medyo ito po ay nakakatulong. Parang hindi po siya parang stressful pagdating naman sa ating mga bata. Okay. So, ready na ba si Lugin? O siguro kung pwede nating ma-play siya habang nagkakaroon tayo ng lunch. Baka pwede ganun, Sir June. Okay.
Okay na daw, ma.
Okay na. O sige, Login, take it away. Yan ang controller namin.
Yan po.
Sample of learning schedule at home from grades 7 to 10. 7 o'clock to 8 a.m. breakfast, from 8 o'clock to 8:15 a.m. for prayer, C for advisory, announcement class, every Monday, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. TLE, special curriculum programs. From Tuesday to Thursday, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. Filipino. Every Friday, 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. TLE, special curriculum programs. Every Monday, 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. TLE, special curriculum programs. From Tuesday to Thursday, 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. English. Every Friday, 9:15 to 10:15 a.m. PLE, special curricular programs. From 10:15 to 10:30 a.m. recess, household classes every Monday. 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Filipino. From Tuesday to Friday, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Science. From 11:30 to 12 a.m. Independence, collaborative learning. 12 o'clock to 1 p.m. Lunch, household tasks, creative, from Monday to Thursday, 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. Mathematics. Friday, 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. English, access and use of provided SLM. From Monday to Thursday, 2 o'clock to 3 p.m. Cafe, access and use of provided SLMs. Every Friday, 2 o'clock to 3 p.m. at Chariot access and use of provided SLMs. From Monday to Tuesday, 3 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. Panda Kuchen. From Wednesday to Friday, ESP, access and use of provided SLMs. To 4:30 p.m. Higher Room Guidance. From Tuesday to Friday, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Independence, collaborative learning. 4:30 to 5 p.m. Closing prayer, personal reflection and journal. 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. dinner time. 6:30 to 9 p.m. free time and Reddit stories. 9 p.m. onwards, bedtime. Total in minutes 360.
Sample Home Online Instructional Plan for Grade 1. August 24th, 2020. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. breakfast. 8:30 to 8:45 a.m. prayer, C4 advisory, announcement class. 8:45 to 9:35 a.m. mother tongue. Access and use the provided SLMS. 9:35 to 10:05 a.m. Filipino. Access and use the provided SLMS. 10:05 to 10:20 a.m. recess. Household tasks. 10:20 to 10:50 a.m. may be used for reading time in English. Access and use the provided SLMS. 10:50 to 11:40 a.m. mathematics. Access and use the provided SLMS. 11:40 to 1 p.m. lunch. Household tasks. 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. creative, quiet time, nap, relaxation, play, reading stories. 3 o'clock to 3:40 p.m. Maryland time with Hannah. Access and use the provided SLMS. 3:40 to 4:20 p.m. Moppy. Access and use the provided SLMS. 4:20 to 4:50 p.m. ESP. Access and use the provided SLMS. 4:50 to 5 p.m. closing prayer and personal reflection. 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. dinner time. 6:30 to 9 p.m. free time and or reading stories. 9 p.m. onwards bedtime. Total in minutes 240. First sum 270. Second sum. Thank you and goodbye.
Yes. Okay na, June?
Ayun po, nakikita natin yung mga sample time management plan para po sa ating mga learners. So Ma'am Jan, may dadagdag pa po ba kayo doon?
Okay, para sa ating mga teachers at saka sa ating supervisors, mga curriculum implementation, division chiefs, lahat ito ay makakaya natin dahil tayo ay tulong-tulong bayanihan. God bless everyone.
Yes, opo ma'am. Thank you so much Ma'am Jan. Okay, Ma'am Jan, ipakita po natin ngayon kasi mamayang hapon po magkakaroon tayo ng breakaway session para po sa ating mga return demo simulators na kung saan Ma'am Jan, naghahanda po talaga sila kasi sila po yung
Thank you so much, Dr. Janet G. Veloso, our CLMD chief. Indeed, in the midst of this pandemic, we teachers are really pushed to go beyond the four corners of our classroom because we are gearing towards online education. Of course, for places who have internet access. So thank you once again, Ma'am Janet. The link for this morning's attendance is now flashed on your screens, so please copy it on your browsers and don't forget to sign in. Okay, just a reminder to the schools who are not able to print their modules, the schools division of Davao Oriental is willing to print yours for free. You just have to bring your own A4 Substance 20 paper, and by the way, it is a first come, first served basis. We will now end our morning session and we will be back at exactly 1 p.m.